Ladies and gentlemen, body language is an unspoken form of communication that often conveys more than words ever could. It's a language that reveals emotions, intentions, and thoughts through subtle movements, expressions, and gestures. While people can craft their words to deceive or manipulate, the body is much harder to control, making it a reliable indicator of what someone truly feels or believes. To read someone effectively, you must begin by observing their posture. Upright and confident stances often signal self-assurance, while slouched or closed-off postures might indicate insecurity, discomfort, or defensiveness. For instance, someone leaning back with crossed arms may feel threatened or disinterested, even if their words suggest otherwise. Conversely, leaning forward and open gestures often signify engagement and receptiveness. Facial expressions are another critical component of body language. They are the most direct and instinctive displays of emotion. A furrowed brow, tightened lips, or clenched jaw often reflect tension or frustration, even if someone is claiming to feel fine. Genuine happiness, for example, is usually accompanied by a Duchenne smile where the eyes crinkle and the corners of the mouth lift naturally. Fake smiles, on the other hand, involve only the lips and often fail to engage the eyes. Microexpressions, fleeting, involuntary facial expressions that occur within a fraction of a second, can also provide insights into a person's feelings. These tiny, almost imperceptible movements are difficult to fake and often reveal suppressed emotions like anger, fear, or sadness. Learning to spot and interpret these can give you an advantage in understanding what someone is truly experiencing. Gestures also play a significant role. For example, open palms during a conversation signal honesty and openness, while clenched fists or fidgeting may suggest nervousness or hidden tension. Similarly, mirroring, where a person subconsciously imitates the posture or gestures of the person they're speaking with, often indicates rapport and connection. When someone mirrors you, it's a sign they are comfortable and aligned with your energy. Proxemics, or the use of personal space, can also reveal much about a person's feelings. Someone who stands or sits very close might be signaling intimacy or dominance, depending on the context, while maintaining distance may indicate discomfort or disinterest. Eye contact, often called the window to the soul, is particularly telling. Sustained eye contact can convey an interest, while avoiding it might suggest guilt, shame, or anxiety. However, excessive staring can feel intrusive and might indicate aggression or an attempt to intimidate. Mastering the art of reading body language takes practice, patience, and a willingness to observe without preconceived judgments. By honing this skill, you gain the ability to discern authenticity, detect deceit, and empathize more deeply with others. Remember, the body rarely lies. It is a direct and powerful communicator that speaks volumes about a person's internal state, offering you profound insights if you are attentive enough to notice. The words people choose are more than just a vehicle for communication. They are a window into their thoughts, values, and patterns of behavior. Language carries an emotional and psychological weight, and paying attention to how someone speaks can uncover hidden truths about their personality, motivations, and mindset. When listening to someone, notice not only what they say, but also how they say it. Do they frequently use inclusive language like we and us, or do they lean heavily on I and me? The former often indicates a collaborative mindset, someone who values unity and shared responsibility. The latter may point to a more individualistic or self-centered outlook. Such linguistic tendencies are subtle but consistent indicators of how a person views themselves in relation to others. Tone is equally important. A warm, steady tone generally signals confidence and sincerity, while a sarcastic or defensive tone can betray underlying frustration, resentment, or insecurity. For example, a person who dismisses compliments with sarcasm might be struggling with self-esteem issues, even if their external demeanor appears confident. Similarly, abruptness or sharpness in tone can indicate stress, irritation, or an attempt to assert dominance. The consistency of someone's narrative is another key aspect to analyze. Inconsistencies or contradictions in their stories often reveal deception or a lack of self-awareness. For instance, if someone frequently shifts their perspective or revises past events to suit the present conversation, it may indicate manipulative tendencies or an avoidance of accountability. Paying attention to such shifts allows you to discern whether the person is being forthright or constructing a narrative to serve their purposes. Repetitive phrases or themes can also provide insight into a person's priorities and mindset. Someone who constantly talks about their achievements might be seeking validation or masking feelings of inadequacy. Conversely, a person who often expresses gratitude or focuses on the positives in their life likely has a resilient and optimistic outlook. Understanding these patterns helps you see the deeper layers of their character. Another critical factor is how a person speaks about others, especially when those individuals are not present. A person who frequently criticizes or gossips reveals more about their own insecurities and judgmental tendencies than about the subjects of their criticism. On the other hand, someone who speaks kindly and respectfully, even when discussing conflicts or challenges, likely possesses emotional maturity and integrity. Listening between the lines is equally essential. Often people will unconsciously reveal their fears, aspirations, and insecurities through subtle language cues. Phrases like, "I could never do that," "I'm not good at this," or "that's just the way things are," can indicate limiting beliefs or a fear of growth. Conversely, words that reflect curiosity, ambition, and adaptability signal an open and forward-thinking mindset. The key to uncovering these insights lies in active listening. Resist the urge to jump to conclusions. Instead, let the person express themselves fully. By paying close attention to their words, tone, and underlying patterns, you can understand their true character, motivations, and emotional state. Words are not random. They are the threads that weave the fabric of a person's inner world. Recognizing their significance allows you to connect on a deeper level and assess the authenticity of their sincerity. The unspoken often speaks louder than words. Nonverbal cues, the gestures, facial expressions, posture, and even the micro movements people make are a profound means of communication that reveal what lies beneath the surface. While words can be chosen and manipulated, body language tends to be more instinctive and authentic, offering a clearer glimpse into someone's genuine emotions and intentions. One of the most telling aspects of nonverbal communication is eye contact. The eyes are often referred to as the windows to the soul, and for good reason. Sustained, steady eye contact typically indicates confidence and sincerity, while frequent darting away or avoiding eye contact may suggest discomfort, insecurity, or deceit. However, the context matters. Someone might break eye contact out of shyness rather than dishonesty. The key is to observe patterns over time and correlate them with other behaviors. Posture and movement also tell a story. A person who stands tall with shoulders back and a relaxed posture exudes self-assuredness, while someone who slouches or keeps their body closed off, crossing arms, or hunching forward may be signaling defensiveness, insecurity, or vulnerability. Similarly, fidgeting, tapping, or restless movements often indicate nervousness or impatience, even if the individual is trying to project calmness verbally. Facial expressions are another rich source of information. Beyond the obvious signals like smiles or frowns, micro-expressions, fleeting, involuntary facial movements can reveal emotions that someone may be trying to hide. For example, a brief look of anger or fear that quickly gives way to a neutral expression might suggest suppressed feelings. Recognizing these subtle cues requires keen observation and attentiveness, but they are invaluable in understanding someone's true emotional state. Gestures play an equally crucial role. Open gestures, such as using hands to emphasize points or leaning slightly forward while speaking, often indicate engagement and honesty. In contrast, closed gestures like hiding hands in pockets or crossing arms tightly may signal discomfort, mistrust, or reluctance to share. These cues can help you determine whether someone is genuinely interested in the conversation or holding something back. The voice, though technically verbal, has nonverbal qualities that offer significant insight. Pay attention to pitch, speed, and volume. A calm, steady tone suggests confidence and composure, while rapid speech or a riced voice can indicate nervousness or excitement. Hesitations, pauses, or stammering might reveal uncertainty or discomfort. Listening for these subtleties can enhance your ability to gauge someone's true state of mind. Even physical proximity can communicate volumes. People who feel comfortable with you may naturally lean closer or maintain a relaxed distance. On the other hand, those who feel threatened or uninterested might create physical barriers, such as placing an object between you or stepping back. Finally, synchronization between verbal and nonverbal communication is critical. If someone's words are saying one thing but their body language conveys something entirely different, it often signals a lack of alignment and possibly deceit. For instance, someone may claim they are happy for you while avoiding eye contact or crossing their arms defensively. Such inconsistencies should raise red flags. Mastering the art of reading nonverbal cues demands practice and patience. It requires not only observing the individual, but also understanding the context in which the behaviors occur. By becoming attuned to these unspoken signals, you can unlock a deeper understanding of others, peeling back the layers of their true character and intentions. Nonverbal communication is a powerful tool, one that can guide you to discern trustworthiness, authenticity, and emotional depth in those around you. To truly understand someone, you must observe their patterns of behavior over time. Words are fleeting. They can be carefully crafted to suit a moment or manipulate an outcome. However, behavior repeated, consistent action is far more telling. It is in these patterns that you will uncover the essence of a person's character and intentions. Behavior patterns reveal what someone values, how they approach challenges, and whether their actions align with their stated beliefs. For example, a person who frequently cancels plans, no matter how apologetic they seem, is showing a pattern of unreliability. A colleague who consistently takes credit for group achievements, despite occasional humble words, reveals a pattern of self-serving tendencies. Recognizing these behaviors allows you to assess not just who someone is in a moment, but who they are at their core. Consistency is the cornerstone of trustworthiness. A person who consistently demonstrates kindness, honesty, and reliability builds a pattern that earns respect and admiration. Conversely, someone whose actions swing wildly helpful one day, dismissive the next, creates confusion and doubt. Inconsistency in behavior is often a sign of instability or duplicity, and it serves as a warning that you cannot rely on this individual. Another crucial element of observing patterns is understanding how people respond under pressure. It is easy to maintain composure and speak kindly when life is smooth. True character, however, emerges in moments of stress, conflict, and adversity. A person who resorts to anger, manipulation, or avoidance under strain is revealing how they handle challenges. Conversely, someone who remains composed, seeks solutions, and treats others with respect, even in difficult times, is showing their strength of character. Patterns also extend to how someone treats others, not just you. A person who speaks highly of you but demeans others in your absence is demonstrating a pattern of insincerity. Similarly, someone who only behaves well when they stand to gain something, whether praise, rewards, or relationships, reveals of interest rather than genuine goodwill. Pay close attention to how they treat those who cannot offer them anything in return. This is often the most accurate indicator of their values. The importance of observing patterns cannot be overstated. Single actions or isolated incidents can be misleading. Someone might act out of character due to a unique circumstance, a bad day, a misunderstanding, or even an exceptional effort to impress. These moments, while worth noting, do not define a person. It is the repetition of behaviors, the habits they form, and the way they navigate life consistently that tell you who they truly are. To master the art of identifying patterns, you must be patient and observant. This is not a skill of immediate judgment, but of thoughtful consideration. Allow time to reveal whether someone's actions align with their words, whether their behaviors reflect their stated values, and whether their character holds steady across situations. In the end, patterns are the map to understanding people. They strip away the illusions of words and fleeting impressions, exposing the reality of what lies beneath. By honing your ability to identify and interpret these patterns, you empower yourself to build connections with integrity and protect yourself from those whose actions betray their words. While words are deliberate and calculated, nonverbal cues often slip out unconsciously, offering insight into a person's true feelings and intentions. The language of the body, facial expressions, gestures, posture, and even micro-expressions speaks volumes. To truly read someone, you must become attuned to these subtle signs as they reveal the truth that words may seek to obscure. Facial expressions are often the most telling. While someone might mask their feelings with a polite smile, micro-expressions, brief, involuntary facial movements can betray underlying emotions such as anger, sadness, or joy. For instance, a fleeting frown or a tight jawline might indicate discomfort or disapproval, even when the spoken words seem agreeable. Learning to recognize these subtle cues allows you to discern discrepancies between what someone says and how they genuinely feel. Eye contact, or the lack thereof, is another key indicator. Consistent eye contact can convey confidence, honesty, and engagement, while shifty or avoiding eyes can signal discomfort, deceit, or a lack of interest. However, it's important to consider cultural differences in context. Some people may avoid eye contact due to shyness or anxiety rather than dishonesty. The key is to observe patterns over time and in varying situations. Posture and body orientation also speak volumes. A person who leans in, mirrors your gestures, or keeps an open posture is likely engaged and receptive. In contrast, crossed arms, a turned-away body, or excessive fidgeting can signal defensiveness, disinterest, or unease. Similarly, the proximity someone maintains can provide insight into their comfort level with you. Stepping back or maintaining a large physical distance might indicate discomfort, while leaning in closer can signal trust and connection. Tone of voice, cadence, and volume are also powerful nonverbal cues. A steady, calm voice suggests confidence and self-assurance, while a shaky or hurried tone can reveal nervousness or uncertainty. Listen not just to what is being said, but to how it is being said. Hesitation, changes in pitch, or sudden pauses can signal discomfort or the withholding of information. Gestures, both conscious and unconscious, further illuminate a person's state of mind. Open-handed gestures often signify transparency and honesty, while pointing fingers or abrupt hand movements can come across as aggressive or defensive. Pay attention to repetitive gestures or nervous habits, such as tapping fingers or bouncing legs, which happen to indicate stress or impatience. Reading nonverbal cues requires a nuanced and context-aware approach. Isolating one gesture or expression without considering the broader context can lead to misinterpretation. For example, crossed arms might indicate defensiveness in one situation, but simply be a comfortable resting position in another. The key is to observe clusters of cues and assess them in relation to the overall interaction. When you master the art of interpreting nonverbal communication, you gain a significant advantage in understanding people. This skill allows you to detect incongruities between their words and their true emotions, helping you navigate relationships with greater insight and clarity. By listening to what is unsaid, you empower yourself to see beyond the surface and engage with others on a deeper, more authentic level. To truly understand someone, it's crucial to look beyond isolated actions or words and focus on their patterns of behavior. While a single action can be influenced by situational factors, consistent behaviors reveal a person's underlying character, priorities, and intentions. Recognizing these patterns requires observation, patience, and the ability to piece together small actions into a coherent picture of who they are. Patterns are the foundation of trust and reliability. A person who consistently follows through on their commitments demonstrates dependability and respect for others. Conversely, someone who repeatedly makes promises but fails to deliver shows a lack of accountability. These patterns are more telling than any spoken assurances because they reflect the priorities and values in action. Another important pattern to observe is how someone treats others, especially those they perceive as less powerful. How do they interact with waitstaff, subordinates, or strangers? If they consistently display kindness and respect, it's a strong indicator of their integrity. On the other hand, if they regularly belittle or exploit others, it speaks to a deeper character flaw that will likely manifest in your relationship with them as well. Conflict is another situation where patterns reveal true character. Everyone faces challenges and disagreements, but how a person handles these moments is a powerful indicator of their emotional maturity. Do they approach conflicts with open communication and a willingness to compromise? Or do they resort to manipulation, aggression, or avoidance? Repeatedly witnessing how someone behaves under stress or pressure provides invaluable insights into their temperament and coping mechanisms. Pay attention to consistency versus inconsistency in their words and actions. A person whose actions align with their stated values and beliefs exhibits authenticity and self-awareness. In contrast, someone whose behavior frequently contradicts their words may be either unaware of their own inconsistencies or intentionally deceptive. Consistency is a hallmark of trustworthiness, while inconsistency often signals instability or a lack of integrity. Patterns in how someone prioritizes their time and energy are equally revealing. Do they invest effort in nurturing relationships, or do they consistently neglect their connections? Do they prioritize self-improvement and meaningful goals, or do they indulge in fleeting pleasures without regard for the long term? Observing these choices over time provides a clear picture of their true motivations and aspirations. It's also crucial to recognize patterns in how someone responds to feedback and personal growth opportunities. A person who consistently demonstrates a willingness to learn and improve indicates humility and adaptability. In contrast, someone who habitually deflects responsibility or refuses to change suggests a rigid and self-centered mindset. Interpreting behavioral patterns requires a holistic perspective. Avoid rushing to judgment based on isolated incidents or short-term interactions. Instead, take the time to observe someone in different contexts and over an extended period. People can often mask their true selves in the short term, but their patterns inevitably emerge in the long run. By focusing on patterns of behavior, you equip yourself with the tools to discern authentic character and navigate relationships with greater clarity and wisdom. It's through this lens that you can make informed decisions about who to trust, who to distance yourself from, and who truly deserves a place in your life.